Oh. Greetings, Wanderer. This is Atlas here, and welcome to The Void. Today I'm going to be reacting and breaking down a song called Don't Be Defeated by a Friend. This is the super arranged version, and it's from the Trails of Cold Steel original soundtrack. This is one of the coffee personal requests that I had scheduled for this month, and this one comes from Lamas R Pro. And the comment says, "Hey, can you please do a breakdown of Sen no Kiseki Trails of Cold Steel, super arranged version, Don't Be Defeated by a Friend. This is a battle theme that plays when you're not necessarily fighting enemies, but more friendly competition, and I think it really conveys that feeling well. I would like your thoughts on the song." Well, thank you very much, Lamasor Pro, for, of course, your request and your incredible support. I've covered, the Legend of Heroes series before. I've done Unfathomed Force, Silver Will, and Blue Destination from the Legend of Heroes. I know one is from the Trails of Cold 2, and other ones are from other games. But it's from the same series, okay? So I'm gonna leave the latest one that I did, which is Blue Destination, in this card right here, but I'm gonna leave the rest of them with that one in the description of this video, right? But before we begin, I would like to invite you to listen to my latest track, which is a BERSERK inspired track called Conceived in Blood, which is the song that you have been listening in the intro of this video. So if you enjoyed the song so far and you would like to listen to the full song, I'm gonna leave it in this card right here, but also in the description of this video, right? And with that being said, onward. Okay, so this is going to be Don't Be Defeated by a Friend, super arranged version from Trails of Cold Steel. And boom. Started right away. Okay, so far it's quite a heavy metal song. Those scale transitions are pretty cool. Great accents. You can hear the Iron Maiden drum pattern. The synth pad is very 80s like. Some harmonies in the violin. Ooh. Nice arpeggios. Great. It's great how the violin and the lead guitar interchange the melody. There we have it. That's the end, right? Yeah, there we have it. All right. Yeah. This is a little bit similar to another Trails of Cold, or apologies, another song from the Legend of Heroes song, another song from the Legend of Heroes series that I heard before, where they use a lot of heavy metal along the track. Heavy metal and prog metal along the track, but this one is, I would say, like a very straightforward heavy metal song. However, I'm going to be talking more in depth about what makes this song, you know, like a very straightforward heavy metal, but also how it, you know, with the selection of the scales and the melodies, how this fits the premise that Llamasar Pro told us about, you know, this being a battle theme, that but not necessarily fighting enemies, but more of a friendly competition. So probably this is a song that is played while you're PvPing people in the game. So let's break it down. Okay, so for this particular track, I had to bring out the big guns. The electric guitar, because, well, it's a heavy metal track and I don't think my acoustic guitar is going to do it justice. So I'm gonna try to play along with the track a little bit and try to figure out, you know, the scale in which the melody is in, the riffs and so on and so forth. So let me see if I can just play the song right here and start noodling around with it. I mean, it's not the same, but, you know, it's along the same scale. That is so Iron Maiden, like the transition that there is in the along with the percussion. It's straight from the new wave of British heavy metal. Okay, so now that I, played and noodled a little bit around the song, I would like to say that, well, yes, it's still pretty much a heavy metal song all around. You know, it's very straightforward heavy metal song. I think however, it's a little bit tilted towards the new wave of British heavy metal, very specifically because of those melodic transitions that you hear with little scale runs to make transitions in between bars. In between the bars, or the ending bar of a riff and the beginning of the other one, right? So also very melodic in the sense that you hear a lot of harmonies, not only in the lead electric guitar but also in the violin. However, you know, these are things that are obviously quintessential to metal, like, you know, the distorted guitar is pretty much a given. However, this is not like an insanely saturated electric guitar, you know. It's not like like a death metal kind of setup or anything like that, you know, or black metal for all that matter, or extreme metal all around. Although thrash metal does have that little bit more of saturation in it, above heavy metal. But what's interesting about the song is that it's not a very traditional new wave of British heavy metal song, in the sense that it has a lot of synthesizers. Now, this of course is not something that is new by any means or whatsoever. You know, it's not like it's breaking any grounds. It's a very straightforward song. This kind of formula has been done a million times over, but you can still do something within a formula very well. You know what I mean? And I think this is the case because what adds spice, let's say, to what the song is, even though, you know, it's a straightforward, like I said before, heavy metal song, is the addition of the synthesizers to spice things up and actually brings it a little bit forward in time. And because at the beginning, you know, bands, one of the few bands that started doing synthesizers within the heavy metal, genre was Iron Maiden, actually. I don't think, new wave of British heavy metal, you know, Angel Witch, Saxon, Venom, although Venom later became more of a speed metal band, but I would say that Iron Maiden was a very important part into adding synthesizers into their music, you know. Synthesizers were a little bit ostracized, if you would say, from all kinds of genres of metal, actually, except from progressive metal and progressive rock for some reason, because, well, maybe they were more of the forward-thinking kind of lads, you know, kind of musicians. But the addition of the synthesizers in the song actually brings them a little bit forward into time. Not so much, of course, but certainly doesn't make it so much of a super traditional heavy metal song. And on top of that, you have along those scale run transitions. Well, they're not so much of scale runs, but, you know, they're scale transitions in between riffs and so on and so forth, with the percussion that it's like very much an Iron Maiden template. You know, the pattern in the drums, they are very much from Iron Maiden all around. Now, the other thing that I would like to mention is obviously the violin, or the violins, because of course we have a violin lead that keeps elaborating and evolving the main melody of the song. Sometimes you have another violin harmonizing the melody as well. So it's basically like an interchangeable sort of arrangement in which you have, you know, the lead electric guitar doing the melody, then the violin lead, the violin solo, then you have lead electric guitars harmonizing each other, and the violin as well doing the same kind of harmonies. So having the violin actually brings the song a little bit more outside of the box, you know, because a violin, certainly it's not an instrument that you would hear normally in a new wave of British heavy metal song, so to speak. Maybe here and there nowadays, but not so much if you're talking about more of a traditional, you know, song. Now, to finalize my comment, I would like to say that, or better said, I would like to quote Lamasar Pro in regards to something that there was in the comment that said, "This is a battle theme that plays when you're not necessarily fighting enemies, but more friendly competition." And I think it really conveys that feeling well. And you know what? I have to actually agree with this, because I think that battle themes that regard either boss battles, you know, mini bosses, or just, you know, regular mobs, are often in a minor key, you know, or are often very sinister. They are, you know, they involve harmonic minor scales or Phrygian modes, you know, very dark, sometimes even chromatic, you know, arrangements. You know, minor chords. Sometimes if you go really crazy, you do, you know, diminished and augmented chords and so on and so forth, and arpeggios as well. But this is completely different. Like the scale in which the melody is played is a major scale, I would say. I think. At least from the sound of it, it sounds like a major scale. Of course, I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm going with. And of course, major scales are more, you know, have a more of a hopeful sound, happy sounding, you know. So of course that adds to the premise of the friendly competition kind of thing. You know, you're not necessarily fighting someone evil or someone that is within the game that is, you know, it's an enemy that has evil intentions and whatnot, because often games puts you in the role of a hero, right? There's very few games in which you are the villain, which is actually refreshing, but that's not the point of the video. Coming back to this, of course, the Legend of Heroes, it's like, I mean, I haven't played the games, but I'm 99% sure that you play like the good guys, you know. So obviously, if this is like a PvP kind of track in which you're competing against friends and whatnot, it makes sense that has the angst and the conflict that there is in a metal song. You know, metal songs are very what's the term I'm trying to look for? They're dangerous, you know, they're risky. I mean, obviously, if you compare it to the musical popular landscape, let's say, but they have that imbued into it, and it has that from its conception. You know, heavy metal bands have been, or metal bands, I would say, in general, have always been the black sheep of the music industry. Obviously, there's things that are way more black sheep when you go into avant-garde realms and whatnot, but you know, heavy metal or metal in general has been that way since forever, since its inception. So you have a little bit of that conflict that is, of course, trying to translate the PvP or the competition element of the whole thing. But also you have the main melody that, you know, is the spearhead of the whole track in a major scale, I would say, that which actually gives that friendly competition kind of vibe. So I would agree, apologies, with Lamasar Pro in that regard. So I think I'm gonna give this track a silver badge. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friend. Also, please don't forget to visit my Patreon, my Ko-fi profile, and my Ko-fi store in case you want to support my work further, and my Teespring merch shop. And of course, ex nihilo nihil fit.